Hey, good morning. It's Monday morning. It's July 10th, right? July 10th. Yes, we're starting week 5 of our course, Bread and Circuses. And you probably have noticed that one of the things you have to do before the semester's over is to pull together your final project. Now, your final project is a task, if you will, that we're kind of putting in place of a final exam. It allows you to pull together a lot of the work you've been doing in class on a topic that you want to work on, right? So I'm here at Blackboard, as you can see, and let's get into that material. Sometimes it's good to walk through the actual assignment, right? So here we are at Blackboard. We're going over to the Information tab, and at the Information tab, I'm going to download the syllabus, which, again, some of you have been reminding me. I have managed to put some dates in there incorrectly, so thank you for letting me know about that. And then I'm also going to download the project assignment. And we get down there and do final project. So let me get down to that. Let's open that one up if I can do it. Let's open. There it goes. Let's see. So here we are. The first element that is due on your final project, and let me see if I can make this a little bigger, but not blurry. Yeah, I'm sorry, that'll make your, maybe a little too early for some people if you haven't had your coffee yet. So our final project, as you know, we are breaking this down into parts, so it is a little more manageable. The first thing that is due July 12th, that's in 2 days, that's Wednesday, right? That's your first part, is that you need to, if you haven't already, some of you have already done this, thank you, explore a current example of city-supported arts and or entertainment that helps to define the identity or culture of the city or community. So this can range from an art installation, a museum, or it could be a public park, it could be a professional baseball team, you can consider concerts, public gardens, bike paths, museums, performances. It can be a venue or a place, right? Or it can be an actual event. Some of you really enjoyed the Wichita River Festival. If you want to continue with that, go with it. So think it can be an event. It can also be a venue. Do some research. Attend the actual space if you can. Any city will do. You can use your hometown. You can use the town you're in right now. Whatever you want to do. You can use your out and about project, as we said before. You can use your creolizing project. That's coming up. Well, you should be reading about it this week, right? That's the idea of graffiti. So that may be what you want to do. Whatever your inspiration is, let's get going. This must be a venue or an event that enjoys support from public tax dollars. Or maybe not just tax dollars, but community support in general. So tax dollars come in a variety of ways, don't they? So they can be tax breaks, they can be maintenance, they can be annual funding offered. Most of our museums in town enjoy some level of public funding. Lawrence Dumont certainly does. The baseball stadium. So there are lots of places that get public funding. Now you might also be interested in places like, say, the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception downtown in Wichita. Beautiful example, right, of monumental building. You may be thinking, hey, but do they get taxpayer dollars? Probably they do, and it may result from the land that they're on. It may result from, and again, I don't presume to know. So, but the thing we know for sure is that they enjoy public support in the form of people giving them their time, their talent, their treasure, giving them tithing. A lot of people tithe to the church. And as you know, the Catholic Church in town is also very active in public support, such as the Lord's Diner, such as after-school programming and summer programming for young people. So there's a lot that goes on in the Wichita Diocese that is primarily private funding and religion funding supported, but there are some partnerships. So you absolutely can go with a venue or a place or an issue that enjoys a partnership. It doesn't have to be 100% funded by the state. It can be just a little bit of help, perhaps. Yeah. So whatever it is, a venue, a place, an event that enjoys public support. Why do people come out and support this institution, this event, this venue? Right? That's what we're going for. So pick a place. That's your number one thing that you need to do for Wednesday. Let's see. Then what you want to do is identify 3 of the goals for the creative spirit. identify 3 of the goals for our course. Some of you have been very rightly so, very smartly, reminding yourselves of these important goals for the course as you write your papers. Good job. Keep it going. But try to identify 3 of these goals that you think your venue or your event really speaks to. So, for example, let me open up the syllabus for our class one more time. And let's go down to those goals, if you remember. So, number 1, how do we engage in the creative spirit? Right, that can be religious celebration. That can be going out to vote, going to a political rally, right? So there are all kinds of ways that we can engage in the creative spirit. You might find a stretch occasionally, right, to fit this goal. And maybe you'll find another goal that's better. Maybe a political rally is not your first choice for where does human creativity come from, right? So, but at any rate, find your goals from this list that best seem to reflect the work that you can do or you'll be able to do from your venue or your event. How does the creative spirit lead us towards transcendence? That's a big one, right? How does it do so? You might think transcendence comes from the fireworks display for the 4th of July, right? We have this amazing 4th of July celebration in Wichita, and I'm sure other towns as well, right? And bringing people together, seeing these fireworks, hearing the music that's somehow associated with the founding of our country, right? And our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, that can lead us all to a place where we think, wow, I'm patriotic, right? So this can lead us to go beyond thinking of just ourselves to thinking of our country as a whole. That's a good example of transcendence. You can also, of course, get that same feeling from a wonderful concert. You can get that same feeling from watching children play at a public park. So how does your venue or how does your event relate to that? Let's see, how does the creative spirit connect and link us together? Many of you have addressed that already. You know where that's headed from. Where can we recognize expressions of our creative spirit? In literature, music, art, theater, film, dance. So lots of different expressions. If you've already commented on the art in the park, you know that at that particular venue we have not only a botanical garden, which is an extraordinary expression of creativity and nature, but we also have a controversy associated with statues, right? So another form of art, another form of expression. So think about that. So it could be architecture, it could be music, it could be, again, statues, it could be monumental architecture, it could be monumental statues like the Keeper of the Plains. How has the creative spirit influenced various aspects of society, history, government, business, or science? How has the creative spirit influenced various aspects of society? You could think about Exploration Place in Wichita again. You may have another venue like this in your hometown, but that is a place that's very creative. They're very concerned about the use of color and other design elements, but ultimately they're hoping to get young people engaged in the sciences, in the physics of flight, right, in agriculture. So there's an extraordinary approach there to science and technology in that very creative space called Exploration Place. The other thing I can tell you is that you're going to start to see, if you haven't already, lots of stories, particularly in your local newspapers, about what's the role of funding the arts. Typically, fiscal financial years for most governments are kind of mid-June. We sort of see a transition there, and people start to look at those reports coming from the arts. Are the arts too expensive? So you'll start to see some financial issues there. There was a piece just in the Wichita Eagle about the Water Walk along the Arkansas. Is it providing the resources, the revenues actually, to the city of Wichita that we originally thought it would? So that's a controversial topic. We put a lot of money into the landscaping along the Arkansas River. We put a lot of work into helping businesses to develop there. When will the city see a financial return on that? Good question, right? So you need to pick for your final project a venue, a place, right? Then or an event. And then you need to think of 3 of these core objectives for our course and see if you can connect those to them. The goal for Wednesday is to identify that topic, identify those goals, and then turn that in. And as you know, that will be July 12th. Go to our content file marked Turn In Papers Here, submit it there, and then my hope is that by the end of the week, certainly by the weekend, I'll be able to give you some feedback on that and see where I can help you to make that project successful. So think about your project, think about those goals, and seriously, if you have been doing work on your papers, on your reading, at your discussion boards, that you can build upon, that you can use, your Out and About project, your reflection on creolization, graffiti, your project on, Antigone, the role of the theater in society, Shakespeare, the gladiators, right? So if you have been writing on the role of some of these venues in society's past, how can you then use that material to do your final project? That's the hope, that you're building on what you're doing. You can use materials from our class, you can use materials from discussion boards, and you can just get that done. All right? Step 1, due on Wednesday. Good luck. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me or email or hit the tab and ask the prof. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to hearing from you and seeing what your projects look like. Thanks.